How do, ladies and gents? I hope you're all doing well. So within this video, we're going to find out where is Midnight. So currently Midnight is still off. Try and remove some chrome. Round two. Got something I've been trying to look for ages. Also, guys, look! Found a defect. Defect with the... Then typically, something went wrong. Yeah, you just did see that. So while I finish off taking my little boy for a walk, I'll let you enjoy the video. How do, ladies and gents, and welcome back to the channel. And yes, we are back on Midnight. However, Midnight ain't here. So currently Midnight is still off getting sandblasted and powder coated. However, a lot of other things are going on at the moment as well. Actually, that's a bit of a lie. So it's been 2 weeks and these are all the parts that have got the chrome on them. And this is in, oh, loads of this. So this is patio and brick cleaner, okay? So it's got sulfuric acid in there. They have been in there for about 4 days. Now, don't worry, that's not all what's happened in there. So prior, I had him in for a week and a half in bleach, just normal household bleach. Round two. And it's done a lot of that. But it wasn't getting rid of the last little bit, and someone said to me, try this stuff, so I have. Also, guys, look, I managed to find a classic front wheel. Now, what I don't understand is that front wheel is over 200 quid, okay, which is not bad considering I saw one for £600, which had to come from Germany. But if I wanted to get the rear wheel, which was the same as this, all spokes and what have you, from the same place, they're only charging 50 quid, which is really, really odd. So it seems like these, well, these are very hard to come by anyway, so, but I am going to stick with the solid rear wheel with a classic front, and then that one's going to go up for sale at a later date. So now what I'm just doing at the moment is prepping the garage now for when Midnight returns, because as it's going to have been all powder coated and obviously sandblasted and powder coated, the last thing I want to do is basically get any of my frame or whatever has been powder coated scratched, because I'll be hugely pissed. So the plan is I'm getting some carpet, second-hand carpet, and I'm going to carpet from the garage door all the way to pretty much probably about, well, here. And there we go, guys. Garage back to normal with the carpet all fitted. So all we need to do now is just wait for the parts to be ready and finished with paint. And here we go! Here's one fork. Now the reason I say one fork is when I had the second one, well, when they were all painted, I brought them back, absolutely happy, until I flipped the other one over and it was missing some paint here, because it was only when you got up close you could actually see that it didn't have enough black paint on it. As I'm going through the whole palaver of actually doing this bike or Midnight up, I'm not going to cut corners, and that wasn't good enough considering, oh, let's put that over there, considering that alone, just for that small bit at the bottom, cost £240. Now, to me, that seems like a lot of money, but to people that are actually watching this, if you are into the paint business and what have you, you can tell me if that's not too bad, because that's both forks. However, the frame is back! So yes, the frame and everything that I sent off is back. It is covered in wrap. I'm not going to take the wheels out yet, because I've got to send or take them back to the bike shop to get all the bushes and stuff put in, because that was a bit of a deal we did. But I will be in a second taking Midnight's frame out, because I'm going to put all the screws, bolts and everything back to where they should be, because I've got them all labelled. And yeah, so we'll be able to get to see the frame. From what I've seen so far, I am so chuffed with it. So what I sent off was the frame, the swing arm, the front headlight, which I found out that the cup on the back was plastic, but he managed to blast that off and leave it because he couldn't obviously powder coat that. But he powder coated the ring that attaches to the headlight. What else? Both front wheels, the rear sprocket that attaches to the rear wheel, because it's obviously on a belt, so that one was a lot better to be able, you could actually obviously powder coat that. The grille to go onto the radiator, the exhaust tips, because they're all covered, they are now black and they look fantastic, so I have seen them. We are also looking at the fork assembly, what holds the actual shocks to them. They've all been done as well. What else? The controls as well, the control switches, they have been done. I've not done, obviously, the bars, because the bars are kaput because they are bent, so I need new bars. But considering I've paid £240 to have them front shocks done just at the bottoms, all that, 216 quid. 216 quid to get blasted and powder coated. That's a bargain, if I've ever heard one. Look at that. I'm over the moon. There you have it. And it's also shot in there, because there's bits of surface rust in there, but this is absolutely amazing. So the bike is basically a cross between satin black and gloss black. So the wheels and sprocket, they are gloss, because I wanted a bit of shine on there. But the rest of it, like the frame and everything, is satin. So she is now out, which is really, really good. They've left a couple of their bolts in, which is one of the reasons why I went with these guys, is because they put nuts and bolts in all of the holes. So then you don't have to tap them out, because that was one thing I did with something else of mine. I sent, I think it was my wheels off or something like that, but they didn't even bother putting anything in the holes, so I had to tap everything out. There we go for the time being. I must admit, I'm so glad I made my videos, because it was actually not so simple. Trying to remember where like even that little one went and stuff like that. As I say, guys, you can do something like this, I really advise to make a little video, even if it's a slow motion of you just going around whatever you're doing. It'll save you a lot of hassle in the long run. So guys, on a bit more of an inspection, this is going to take a little bit longer than I actually thought, because I've got to send the frame back to get powder coated again, because I didn't see it at first, but this bit here needs to be rectified. At the same time, I'm going through all the other parts to see if there's anything else I need to do. So now you get a bit of a sneak peek prior to me actually putting it all together. But yeah, this is the bit that goes in the wheel, so the hub of the wheel, the top of the shocks, off of the swing arm. Now this is actually the bracket that holds the front indicators. Now I left that in bleach and it peppered it, but for the time being I had this sandblasted and powder coated at the same time. I'm just going to stick it on, but at some point I will change that. But also the engine cover I had just sandblasted, as I said earlier, and it's come out really, really well. The only thing is I've got to clean out this bit here. This is the reason why it wasn't powder coated, because you've got bearings in there. So I thought I'll get them actually properly painted at a body shop rather than powder coating. But yeah, that's that one box. Let's have a look at the others. And like I was saying, this is obviously the plastic cover for the headlight, and that was all sandblasted. So that's come out really, really well actually, and I think that's going to be a lot easier to paint. If I am going back, I'm going to take them with me so the chap can sandblast them, and at the same time, I forgot about these two. So that goes over the the belt, and this one goes over like a cooler. I think it's an oil cooler on the front. So I'll take them down at the same time. So this is the other box, and this looks wicked. But wait for this. Look how good them exhaust tips look. They're absolutely fantastic, and they're all in really good nick. You can still see the Vance and Hines signature there. Here's the rear swing arm, and it's come out amazingly well. If you remember these, they looked really, really bad. There's a little bit of pepper in there, but nothing to worry about at all. The rear wheel looks fantastic. Like I say, this is in gloss black, so it's got more of a shine to it than satin. That looks the nuts. Lastly, the front spokes, which looks incredible as well, and I cannot wait to get these wheels on, because I think it's going to look so sharp with this wheel and that wheel. If anything, it's just that little bit on the front there, but I'm going to see what they say. Here's a small bit, so I don't know how they'll work it. It means I've got to take all the bolts out again, but that's no hardship, and I'll send them off as well, and all of this, so we'll see. So there we have it, guys. All the parts are ready now to go down to the bike garage to get all sorted out. And check this. I don't know if I told you guys or not, but the original rear tyre is a 180. This is a 230, and it fits on that rim. So that is going to be one fat rear tyre. So guys, just a very quick update. I've just had the rear tyre put on the rim. Look at the size of that beast. That is going to look absolutely incredible on the back of Midnight. And here we are, guys. We are back. And the wheels now have their tyres put on. So here's a better chance to have a look at this one. Look at the size of that, that's my hand. Now, this tyre, which I said is a 230, they go on Harleys. And it's the biggest tyre. I think you can fit a 240 on that. Correct me if I'm wrong from anyone who does know. But a 230 will fit on it, and it is still safe. I'm just saying it is still safe. But like I say, I want a fat tyre on the rear end of this bike. It is going to be, it's a cruiser, it's a V-twin, and it's going to be a bobber. So there's certain things I want it to have. And like I say, I want a fat tyre on the back. There is a couple of other modifications I'm doing to the bike that's going to make it better as well. But yeah, I think it looks beautiful. But what I've got to do now, because I've had them powder coated and I need to put the disc back on, I've got to actually sand this off, because otherwise the actual disc itself could be ever so slightly out, and it's going to cause an issue with obviously braking. So I am going to have to gently sand this off and get in this little crease here on this side, which is not a problem. I can do that, and I have to do the same on that one. But yeah, let's put these back together. There we have it. I did catch ever so slightly on one of these, but it's actually not that bad. You won't be able to tell once the disc's on. But yeah, that took a lot longer than I anticipated, but thankfully for this little piece, it's come out really, really well. Otherwise it would have been even more of a nightmare, I imagine. Right, let's get the disc on. And there we go. And I gotta admit, they look fantastic. Love it, really do. So they look absolutely fantastic with that, and I love the look of this tyre. But there is a slight problem. So I have no idea why, but I took the wheels down to get balanced. Front tyre, absolutely fine, no problems. The rear one, however, is so imbalanced, it is untrue. And it's not the wheel, it is the tyre. There is a defect with the tyre. I don't know why, but from seeing it spinning, you can see that there's something wrong with the tyre itself. It's got either a bulge somewhere or something inside. And to balance it, it was going to be like 150 on one side, and I think it was like 45 on the other. And they even said, even with it being balanced like that, which is way too much weight to put on a rim, you're still going to feel that, and it was going to, yeah. So I just thought, no, I'm going to have to send that tyre back and get a new one. So yeah, that ain't getting put on straight away. But there's good news, and yes, the frame is back, along with the rear swing arm and along with the bracket that has the rear shock. So I've had a look more at the footage from obviously putting a lot of it together. Obviously, as you can see, it's gone over multiple days. I'm wearing a hat now and all this shiznit. I'm afraid we're hitting, at this point, I think I'm at about 12 minutes. So this film or video will be probably a two-parter, because I've got so much more to do. I haven't really even touched putting the bike back together, but also I've got to do a lot of stuff, sending a lot of stuff off to paint. So if that makes any sense. So we are more likely going to be a two-parter, because at the end of this I want to do obviously some footage of me taking it to MOT, and also I want to do some footage of me actually going out riding it and taking you guys along. So please bear with, please enjoy the video and stay tuned, because there's going to be a lot more. But now I'm going to crack on putting that bike as much as I can together. Ha! So while the missus is away, I'm actually using our sink to clean my parts. So hopefully she don't figure out, she'll go absolutely wild. Let's keep it secret. So first off, we start off on the rear swing arm by fitting the tyre cover with some new bolts. I then moved on to the side stand, but due to the amount of powder coat in between, it wouldn't fit. So I had to do a lot of grinding. With a bit of grease in the bolt, it moved freely. Then moved back to the swing arm again by fitting some grease to the new bearing and then fitting the pipe, which I had to gently tap in with a hammer, but there was quite a bit of resistance. It made me think I moved the bearing, but fingers crossed, it stayed in place. Lastly, we went on to the suspension, but yet again a lot of resistance due to the powder coat, bloody typical.
I had to grind a lot of it back and then the bolt slid through. Fantastic.
So I didn't film that bit because my beautiful little helper doesn't want to be on camera, but due to the fact of having no engine in there, I had to basically stand on the frame and basically pump the jack up, because otherwise what it was doing is lifting the whole rear end up. So I had to stand there, pump it up, and literally it just popped straight into position. I was like, yeah, result! So as you can imagine, she is very lopsided now. The whole suspension is now in. I am very, very happy. I thought I might not be able to get on this bolt, but luckily with the bike being now like that because of the suspension and everything, it is all tightened up there, and yes, I don't have to worry about that. So I'm now going to put the forks on. I'm then going to put the brackets on for the new mudguard. I'm not putting the new mudguard on. Then I'm also going to put the wheel on as well, so it can give it more weight this end. So it's finally come towards the point in this project which I thought it would any time now, because of the fact of obviously doing all the powder coating. I just had to get a tap and die set. So yeah, I gotta start doing that. I've not really used one of these before, so I'm hoping I do not mess this up. So really odd. Top ones are very much metric, as in, so the bottom ones to be fair, but top ones are 8mm by 1.25. Bottom ones, which I would have thought were M10s by 1.5, but they're not. But I mullered one trying to put it in. So what I ended up doing is I've now re-tapped them at that 10.105. So I just need to get some new bolts for these ones, because I actually mullered the thread in that one and mullered the bolt. So either way, I need a new one. So yeah, but these will be able to go on still. No! Yeah, you just did see that. So luckily, you can't quite tell. I got the polish out. It's taken a little bit out of there, but I'm not too worried. In a minute, I can get that touched up. So if anything, I think I'm lucky on that front. Just a schoolboy error. That's what that was, schoolboy error, because I did not do these two up, and it's just, the fork's just fallen through. But then saying that, it does look bloody wicked. There we go. I gotta admit, if that's it, that's obviously going to be the only bit of chrome pretty much on it, but she's starting to look amazing. She really is. I'm so happy that I changed to that spoke wheel. I'm just really gutted I can't fit that, because then I wouldn't need this at the moment anymore. I can just have it on its wheels and then put the kickstand down. But like I say, I've only put this on for the time being, just to get it on. I know the tyre's not right, but I had to do it. Take a look at this. How much of a beast does she look? Like I say, I know the tyre's going to come off and a new one's got to put on, because that's not the right balance or what have you. Look at her with that on. And it fits perfectly in there, so I ain't got to worry about that. Oh, she's going to be absolutely beautiful. I really cannot wait to ride her. I really can't. That tyre looks absolutely fantastic. It was like it should have had that in the beginning. So guys, yes, you guessed it. Unfortunately, that is going to bring us to the end of this video. I hope you have enjoyed it. I am sorry that I didn't plan, or sorry, my plan of getting her on the road in this video has not worked out. Unfortunately, it's taken me 3 weeks so far just to get the frame into this condition, because of little setbacks like the frame having to go off again, waiting for ages for the front forks, which took 3 attempts to get painted. But the biggest problem, unfortunately guys, as you could probably guess, it's funds. Paint costs an absolute fortune, and with a mortgage and everything else, it's just at the moment not possible. So I didn't want to hold back on this video, and like I say, this tyre as well cost 290 quid, and I've got to buy another one because of this one being out, just not working properly. But the paint is the biggest problem. and the engine's not going in until I get the engine covers done first. So the reason for that is because the last thing I want to do is put the engine in and try and put the covers on and scratch the covers. I'd rather put the covers onto the engine and slide the engine in, and then I'm done with that. I can start bolting everything back on. But also for new handlebars, grips, levers, tyre, another sprocket, because I'm putting a bigger sprocket on, so it will basically rev lower at 70 mile an hour and save fuel and save the engine really, because it screams at 70 on these. Them alone are 600 quid for that stuff. Paint, we're talking probably 1,500 to 2,000 pounds. So it is going to be the next one, guys. So it could take a while for that video to come out. But like I say, I hope you have enjoyed this video, and please put some comments down below of what you think of Midnight. I think she looks absolutely fantastic. And from having this wheel on the back and seeing that wheel on the front, I think she looks absolutely sharp. I love her to bits, and I cannot wait to ride it. So if you haven't done already, guys, please hit like, please hit subscribe to keep up with more future content, and I'll see you on the next one. One last thing before I end this video, guys, actually, if you need any sort of shot blasting, sandblasting, powder coating, check out A&C Shot Blasting in Newbury. They're the ones that did my frame and everything. They were absolutely fantastic. I couldn't recommend them enough. I'll put them down in the description. So take care, guys. Stay safe. See you later. Ta-da.